Okay, what is the single biggest competitive advantage a modern business can have? It's probably not what you're thinking. Today, we're going to unpack two ideas that aren't just HR buzzwords anymore. They're the absolute engine for building a successful company. We're talking about equal opportunity and diversity. So let's dive in and figure out what this all really means. This quote right here just nails the huge shift in how we think about business. It's not about just passively tolerating people's differences anymore. It's about actively celebrating them. I mean, think about it. When was the last time a different perspective on your team led to a breakthrough you never would have seen on your own? That's the power we're tapping into. Exactly. It's one thing to talk about these big, inspiring ideas, but what does it look like in a meeting on a random Tuesday morning? How does it actually affect the bottom line, the team vibe, and, yeah, your own career path? So let's get into the nitty-gritty of how this whole thing can truly transform a workplace. All right, first up, let's just establish why this is completely 100% non-negotiable for any business that actually wants to win in today's world. Look, it's pretty simple. In a global market, your company really needs to reflect your customers, right? Well, that takes diversity. And if you want to stay ahead of the curve, you need fresh, innovative ideas coming from every possible angle. Again, that takes diversity. This isn't just a nice-to-have anymore. It's a core strategy for survival. Okay, now here's where a lot of people get tripped up. They use these two terms, equal opportunity and diversity, interchangeably, but they are not the same thing. And getting that distinction is, well, it's crucial. So let's clear that up right now. Think of it like this. Equal opportunity is like a race where everyone, and I mean everyone, starts at the exact same starting line. It's the framework, the set of rules that make sure the most skilled person gets the job or the promotion. Period. It's about making sure incredible talent isn't just left sitting on the sidelines because of some old school bias. So, if equal opportunity is the operating system that keeps everything running fairly, then diversity, well, diversity is like the whole suite of powerful apps you run on it. Each app, each person, brings a totally unique function and adds a different kind of value to the whole system. And this really boils it all down. If you remember one thing, remember this. Fairness is the foundation you have to build on. But the differences? Those are the building blocks you use to create something way stronger, more creative, and more resilient than any uniform team could ever hope to be. And you can see how different they are in practice right here. Equal opportunity, that's all about the rules of the game. It's policy-based, written into HR handbooks. The whole point is to stamp out discrimination. But diversity, that's about the players on the field and the culture you build. It's about creating a place where everyone feels included and their unique skills are actually sought out and valued. And remember, diversity isn't just one thing. It's a whole spectrum. You've got gender, which brings different leadership styles. You've got culture, which is just essential in a global economy. And you've got age, which gives you that amazing blend of deep experience and brand new perspectives. Each one adds another layer of strength. Okay, so we've got the definitions down. We know fairness is the foundation and differences are the building blocks. But now let's get to the real heart of it, the why. Why are these two things so incredibly powerful when you finally bring them together? So why should you care? Well, it breaks down into three huge reasons. First, it's just plain smart business. Diverse teams are proven to be more innovative, more productive, and they just make better decisions. Second, it's the right thing to do. It's about justice and human rights. And third, well, it's the law. You literally can't afford to ignore this stuff. And yeah, let's be super clear about the money part. This isn't just some feel-good initiative. There was a huge McKinsey report that found companies with the most ethnic and cultural diversity were a whopping 36% more likely to be more profitable than their competitors. That's not just a nice bonus. That's a massive, data-backed competitive advantage. But okay, let's get real for a second. Knowing all this is one thing, but actually doing it, that's a whole other story. It's not always easy, and there are some serious, real-world hurdles you've got to get over. For instance, we all have unconscious biases. It's just how our brains work. It's that little shortcut that might make you lean toward a candidate who went to the same college as you, and you don't even realize you're doing it. And men, there are simple cultural misunderstandings. What's seen as direct feedback in one culture might come off as rude in another. The real key is just being aware these things exist so you can actively build systems to counteract them. So, knowing the challenges, how do we actually move forward? How do we build that inclusive future? How do you take these powerful ideas and make them part of what you do every single day? Well, here's a pretty solid 4-step playbook. 1. Put in place real effective training, not just to check a box, but to actually make people think. 2. Take a hard look at your HR policies. Are they truly inclusive from the first interview to the big promotion? 3. Have crystal clear zero-tolerance guidelines for discrimination. And 4. Create a culture where open communication isn't just allowed, it's expected. You see, the ultimate goal here is to completely flip the script. Stop thinking of diversity as a problem you have to manage and start seeing it for what it truly is, your organization's secret weapon for innovation, resilience, and success. And that brings it all right back to you. What's your part in all this? Because it doesn't matter if you're leading a company, managing a team, or you're just a vital member of one. You have the power to champion both fairness and differences every single day. So the real question is, how are you going to use it? That's the challenge and the opportunity I want to leave you with.